Hi family, welcome back and welcome to episode 9. I hope you guys had a great start of the week, and most importantly, I hope you guys still have enough popcorn to last you the week because it's still the love month, meaning we still have a lot of love stories to show you. And I know some of you thought Leple Nile from yesterday's episode meant we've come to an end with the series, but fortunately not. We're still here, and I hope you guys have been learning so much from episode 1 up until now, and I hope you learned so much more going forward. And for now, enjoy episode 9.
Hi, sitting in front of you is Nwandisile Nongenzi and her husband Ayanda Nongenzi. We've been dating, I think it's been 5 years, got married after those 5 years. I've been married for I think 2 years.
2 years going on 3.
2 years going on 3. I think she can maybe elaborate further because she's more detailed, I think.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take you through how we met. So we actually met way back in 2013. I was doing my in-service training in Hammanskraal, and I found him there at that company, and he was one of the junior engineers there and so forth. And let me just say, he was okay. You couldn't quite ignore. He was quite there. He had this presence. When I first saw him, I didn't know him. I just saw him there and stuff. And it was that thing. Oh wow, okay, they nice people around here as well. But anyways, as time went, he actually started talking to me in the plant. We're actually working together here and there. And at that point, the thought of actually dating him wasn't there at all. And then as time went, I got to know him and stuff. So we'd just joke around and so forth, nothing hectic. And I became single. I was actually seeing someone at that time, so I wouldn't show any interest anyways. I wasn't interested at all. So and whatever happened in my life happened, and then I was single, but obviously he didn't know that, and not that he was heating up on me or anything. And then eventually I became single. And then we kept talking and talking and talking, and still I didn't think I was gonna date him then. And then I remember there was a function at work. There was some soccer tournament which was happening at work, and when we went to that tournament, I was actually sitting down, and then when I was looking at him, he was doing all these funny things like jumping, screaming. And then in my head, I was like, if this was my boyfriend, he would not be doing such things. It was like a total turn off for me. I was like, never. And then it so happened that he started showing interest in me. He just walked up to me some day in the plant and he said that, "Ngikhuphula nini." At that time, I didn't understand what it meant. He's Zulu or he's Xhosa, but then he spoke Zulu. He just kept saying that to me. I'm thinking, what does that mean? Ngikhuphula nini? What does it mean? He's like, no, go find out. And then another day, he just came by and said that I'm planting a seed. I was like, planting a seed? What is he talking about? And then that's where we actually started getting interested. Remember, I was single, and so girl was high and dry at that time. And I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe it's time to have fun. So I actually went into it thinking that, okay, let me just go in there and have fun. And I actually realized that the person I've been seeing all along in the plant is completely a different person when I actually met up with him up close and personal. So that's when I actually started falling in love with a guy. So yeah, that's how we met. And because so I remember he also, after we dated, after the first week of dating, well, it was still early stages, then he's like, we should do something. In my head, I'm thinking that time I'm young. I was 22 and he was 25. He was 25. So I was young, and that time there's a whole lot of adrenaline in my blood. I was like, you know what, let's go to Gold Reef City. I don't want this sit-in fancy restaurant thing. And then I'm like, no, let's go to Gold Reef City. And then we actually went there for our first date. So yeah.
Came late. Yeah, I came late that day. Like she said, I think we both went into it for fun. So it wasn't until up until like my car accident where I was basically in a bad car accident. So she took care of me. That's when I noticed that, no man, umfazi lo, if I were to say, umfazi, that's someone that I can grow with, build a home with, have kids with. And I think it was confirmed from the reaction from my parents. You know, when someone comes into your home, you not necessarily introduce them, but then they get introduced because of the car accident, and then she's welcomed. It's that thing that she comes and she goes, and then after some months you notice your mom saying, hey, I want to take you somewhere. We went to my grandmother's house. She got introduced to my mother's sisters. So for me it was a confirmation to say she is loved, so what could go wrong? If your parents love your wife or your future wife, I think that's a sign for you to say, okay, right, lona ngiyamthatha uba wami umfazi wami, and then everything will go well. Whatever obstacles that will meet along the way, as long as like the pre-introduction which was made was good. So such things. And then even my dad, I think I came home one night, it was late, I was back home, came home late, and I was a bit drunk, I think, and then he just asked me, are you still playing? I'm like, no, just went out with the boys. And then she said, where's that girl that you came with the last time? And then he was like, if she doesn't come back here, don't bring her back. So it was like, okay, are you telling me to dump her, or are you telling me she's the one or no one else? So those small things, like it was a confirmation to say, this is your wife for me on
and
my
the
side.
tonga sauce you forgot. Once
Oh
you
yeah, that was the first thing. Yeah, the first thing. I've been for that. Yeah.
I didn't know at the get-go that I was actually gonna get married to him, but I think the time when I actually started to know who he was, his background, where he came from, and so forth, I was like, actually, there's this potential, man. There's potential. Hence, I took care of him. I saw there was potential, and yeah. Okay, so my love language is actually quality time. I value quality time a whole lot, and it means the world to me. And also words of affirmation. You know, it's cute to actually, not to be reminded, but that thing out, hey, listen here, you're still the one, you're still that person I met way back there. So words of affirmation for me. And you?
I'd also say words of affirmation as well. Because when you tend to compliment someone, especially your wife, you get a sense of reaction. Like she smiles in a way, and then you see that dimple, and then you get a sense of, yeah, I'm still the one. I still get that smile. So it goes both ways, as much as she likes that as well.
One thing we have in common is we actually quite big givers, the both of us, and I think that's quite a huge blessing to have met someone like that, because we actually put others before ourselves, and he's that guy as well. Like I could wake up tomorrow morning and say, hey babe, listen here, let's buy Tessa a Porsche. And he's not that guy who's gonna say, hi, we don't even have a Porsche, why are we buying her a Porsche, we don't even have this, or so forth. But he's actually open to giving out there, regardless of what we have. If we think we need to give someone a specific thing, he's actually quite open to doing it. So yeah.
I think for me it's more of the effort that's put into the gift, like the presentation, and then the gifts. Yeah, they've been a lot, but then I always stick to the thing that comes to mind always is the presentation always. So it's not more about the gift, it's more about the presentation.
Oh yeah,
and my beautiful daughter. That's the greatest one of all.
And then for my side, the greatest gift, it's nothing major, but it's actually flowers and chocolates. Like, he's the first guy to buy me flowers, and he keeps them coming. Like there's no okay, even if there's no occasion, he'll just walk through the door with a bunch of flowers and chocolates. Like, and every time he does that, I wouldn't be expecting it anyway. So it actually, it's fresh every time he does it. There's just this spark in G. So yeah, flowers, flowers, flowers.
I've received, not necessarily bought, but then I've received.
I've actually, I remember one Christmas I bought him a watch box. He was never a watch person. Eh? I bought him his first watch ever. And now he's that watch person. Wherever we go, he wants watches. And the box which I bought only takes like 10 watches. And now the watches are like lying all over because there's a whole lot. So I think I should get him another one. And then also he's, a couple of years back, I was planning his 30th surprise birthday party. It was so stress-free because I actually just contacted Ramina. They coordinated everything for me, like from the cake to the decor, the venue, and the whole surprise gesture. They actually just made things happen for me. So yeah, thanks to Ramina for that.
Not necessarily friends, mutual.
His friends are his friends, my friends are my friends. That's how it works. Yeah. Although when his friends come over, well, of course they're gonna come here with their wives, and yeah, I mingle with the wives. So that's how it is. And what do we do for fun? Okay, before lockdown, my husband is a foodie, guys. Like, he loves exploring all these restaurants, different types of dishes, and I'm the girl who always sticks to what you know, because I don't want to be disappointed when I'm eating something in a restaurant. But he actually goes out there to actually taste anything and everything. So we got a lot for dinner, lunches, and so forth, as he does what he does best. And we also prefer doing like anything fun, like would go-karting, movies, anything. So after lockdown, now that we all closed up and locked up indoors, we just actually bought a few board games and we randomly just play them here and there just to keep. So yeah. Do we argue? So like any other normal couples, from my side, I think the biggest arguments would be cultural clashes, because he's Xhosa, I'm Tsonga. So if ever there's something which I've never seen or heard about before, of course I'll be that good of saying, yo, I don't know this, or whatever the case is. But then I guess we live and learn. But yeah.
You know, when a person is very fussy about toilet, like you leave any dent, like it can be something as small as I don't know as what, but then on her side, earbuds, you can find them lying all over the house, but then she doesn't have a problem with that. If you clean, you're supposed to be clean everywhere. So that's something that I can't get. Like, I don't understand, even to this day, since we've ever met, I don't understand that.
I need to be able to eat from a toilet seat, guys. It must be that clean. So yeah. What do I like about my partner? Actually, I love the fact that he's, you hear all these stories out there about how guys are supposed to be, to say that hey, guys are always right or so forth, but he's one person that if he's made a mistake, he can come forward and say, you know what, I've made a mistake, I'm sorry. And he's actually open to having conversation, like communication. He's actually open to having a conversation with me. Anything we do regarding anything of our lives, we actually sit down, discuss, and we actually meet each other halfway. So I'm grateful that he's such a person. So,
yeah, I think she's basically answered that. And for one, as a guy, you're very quiet, you keep to yourself, and even if you fight, you tend to want to shy away and then just move away and just ignore the whole thing. But then one thing that I've learned as well, and learned to love in a way, is that communication is key. Yes, at the end of the day, you don't want to argue about something, you just want to move away. So I think that's the only thing that I would say I've learned as well from her. as well as the sense of respect to say, right, you know, sometimes I actually don't want to fight. So leave me and let me be, and then tomorrow I'll come back. So I think that mutual understanding as well has helped us a lot. I think it's always a smile for me. A smile like completes me. You can say something or bring something home. It will be that funny, quirky smile where a face lights up and then you get that dimple and then you're like, yeah, I'm loved. So it's always that for me. Like I can be angry, but then she'll calm me down, and then I see that smile, then I think, oh, I'm okay. So yeah, that's one thing that I'll always remember.
For my side, I could actually list a whole lot of things, but let me just rather say I got the package which I prayed for. You know, when you grow up, you pray to say that I want my husband to be A, B. I got that. Yeah, that's for me to know, so it's fine.
Who is always late? Who is funnier? Who sleeps earlier? Who is the best cook? Who is more stubborn? Who said I love you first?